That's dope. That's so cool. How many Donatellos do I need? At least 4. 5 if we're counting Metalhead. Do you need a 5th Donatello? Do I need a 5th Donatello? Well, this 2-pack might surprise us from the loyal subjects. Metalhead and Donatello. Obviously, we all need a Metalhead. We need this Metalhead in question from the IDW comics. The packaging, it's pretty fantastic, stellar. Look, this alone. This alone is why you need this. I mean, the glow, that's just a bonus. But this Donatello, this Metalhead, I dare say the best Metalhead ever made. Another beautiful tray from the loyal subjects. Keep the trays coming. They're fantastic. It's the best way to do figures. This Donatello, this is where I may shock you. Totally worth it. This Donatello, it's fantastic. If you look at his accessories, so you have a bevy of hands, that's fine. You have the metal bow staff, that's super cool. You have 2 bandanas, 1 for each head, very normal. You have a wrench. You have a welder shocky thing. You have the welder glasses. And here's, look, you have 2 heads. So you have a kind of a smirky Donatello head, and you have like a angry, gritty head. Right to it, Donatello, you may notice something interesting. He has the regular shell, because this is the Donatello before stuff went down, and he needed to transfer to Metalhead's body temporarily and fix his shell with a metal shell. So the attention to detail that Loyal Subjects has is pretty fantastic. 2 unique head sculpts. You get this kind of like angry grinning face, and you get this kind of serious Donnie face. The regular Donnie has this angry face, this happy creepy face. So that's 4 head sculpts you can get for Donatello. It's the same exact figure, the same articulation, the same weak points. So there's the bicep cut that's weak, double jointed elbows, though this one does have the purple wraps, which is very cool. I like it, but he has, again, pretty extreme knees. The leg articulation is fine. The feet, he still has the stupid where you can't, the way it's molded, they need to like cut down on that like top part of the foot. It's just too much. It can't go forward at all, which is pretty freaking annoying. And then there's no like ab crunch. There's barely any twist, just the way it's in there. But it's a cool figure. Unless you really like the new head sculpt, which I happen to, you don't need a 4th, technically 5th Donatello. Yeah. The metal bow staff, I mean, it is just the wood one repainted. It would be nice if it was just clearly all metal, but I guess, reuse, recycle. He has the welding goggles, the cool little welding machine. That's how he's putting Metalhead together along with the wrench. He's using the wrench to put Metalhead together, as you can see. And interesting about this wrench, it's very like floppy, which isn't a bad thing. Like, I'd rather it be floppy and not break. You can't tell looking at it that it's a floppy wrench. And it doesn't, like, visually flop, but there's some bend, there's some give to it. To the star of the show, this freaking Metalhead. This Metalhead is my favorite design from the comics, which, if you know the comics, so Donatello, he's working with his scientist friend, that Harold Lilia, however you pronounce it. Harold makes the Metalhead like Sirbot, which Donnie like eventually takes over. He turns it into a robot that they use for like remote operations. There's a point he goes to like Burnout Island and uses Metalhead to negotiate. But at some point, Donatello, he has a run-in with Bebop and Rocksteady. I hope we get those soon in the Loyal Subjects line. They hammer him in the back severely, basically mortally wounding him. They crack open that turtle shell. Donnie's going kaput. He has to transfer his brain into Metalhead. He becomes Metalhead for a while as his shell kind of heals. He eventually gets the metal shell that we know and love today, and he keeps that for a good while. So it's a cool saga. The IDW, the whole saga about Metalhead is really rad, so it's cool to get this figure. Obviously, the figure looks fantastic. It's one of the coolest Metalhead designs. The articulation, it's a little spindly, but it's interesting because it's a robot. So this is like you're getting like all the way up because the way they design the joint, I like that. Some robots, they don't go for it, but you can get the real sense of robotiness. So full Townsend all day, every day. a bicep cut. The double jointed elbows here, this is a little dicey because it's so thin. It's close to spindliness. And this is like the one time where like the best action joint style, it's not going to matter because it suits it, right? It's like be robot-y as hell. That's totally fine. And then you have like the hands, which there is some tilt in the hands, and we're going to have more on this hand socket as we try to swap things over. There is an issue there, but the hands look great. Of course, the waist, I mean, technically, like he does have... the best action is interesting. So there is like... I mean, he technically has like fantastic crunch, but there is like the waist joints there. But again, he's not really using it because his plastron and shell get in the way. But so his legs, look at that. He's kicking up fantastically. Can't really go back because he has the turtle butt thing. Can't really go to the side as you would normally see. This is a really interesting joint. It's like a peg onto that, so he can do like a lot of stuff. You have him like a little ballerina metalhead there if you can get the balance right. Double jointed knees, which of course, again, the articulation, it works. It fits for what we're trying to do. And then the feet, there's interesting on the feet, there is kind of a little articulation on this like foot pad thing. Not a ton, but you could get some lean out of it. It feels a little dicey, I'll admit. And so the coolest part, maybe, of this figure is there's the car form. So how do you get him into car form? First of all, this little butt thing comes off, just like that. You take away the butt flap, and then here's this attachment that kind of just boops right on. That's like the jetpack. I would have loved if there was like a fire attachment, but there's not. Maybe next time. The hardest part is the head. Best action, they need to make the head ball peg just not as freaking tight. So it's like, there's the paint there. They painted it nice and gold. Good gold color. Like there's some shiny metaliness going on. So you're going to do this one so that way you can get the forward looking head, right? But as you'll see, look, this head, it's a beautiful head. Like that's the Metalhead right there. He has like a hood thing. These are like lights or guns. But it's the ball peg, it's just so dang tight. You know? I hate it. I hate it so much. You got to do like the push and twist and eventually goes in. Whew. Starting to sweat. And then you're ready. The feet, the back feet are very interesting. And I think you can see both of mine are labeled the right foot. I don't think it matters technically because they're mostly the same. I don't know. So remember that. Toesies in first. And then you snap over. And then he's skating around. He's the dancing queen. They are real wheels that spin. Super cool. It looks like there is like a nice metal connection there. Sorry, detour. The cards. Look, I think this is a nice thing that Best Action does. So you have Donnie with like the welding things. He's kind of freaked out. Both staff certified. Da-da-da. All that. Metalhead's card is just so sweet. Look at that guy. Look at that. And this one goes through. Like this goes through kind of like a little, you know, the story. You have two wheels. These spin too, not as freely necessarily. But these just pop right in. So you just swap out the hands. Here's the issue I have with the hands. It's like so deep in there. These ones attach great. But the gun hands is where we're going to have a problem. But let's, for now, focus on how cool the robot hands, wheels, whatever are. So you can kind of, you know, this is where the articulation really comes in handy. So there's the robot thing. And then it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. On the box, I think the box shows it. Like the box wants you to do it like that. Which, let's see if that works. That's not how I did it. As you can see, like that works. I prefer all wheels. So what I found to do, turn the legs so they're backwards. And then you just get much better motion out of it. And again, be careful with those legs. I just think that's much cooler. And then he works much more like like that's just so fun. And that's where I think it'd be so cool to have the freaking like fire effects or something. But yeah, he works as an actual car. Maybe Donnie goes for a ride. Wouldn't you? We would all do it, I think. If you had a robot car, you'd ride it. Does Metalhead like that? No. He does not like it, and you can't blame him. But, you know, they're able to smooth things over. So the guns, or the wheels, rather, easy enough to pop off. These gun hands, they're cool. Like, look how cool the gun hand is. That's super rad. There's some styling on it. Awesome. The second hand, a little bit of a pain to get out, but that's another like really cool. This is like he's like shooting grenades or something, I imagine, with like the gold paint there. Love that. And then, you know, you could keep you could keep like skatey robot mode, because that's kind of cool. Like he can't look down, but imagine he has like force fields to keep his balance. So we should probably swap off the head. Here's that stupid dang too tight head. But let's get it on there. This one's kind of easier to get on because you're just doing like a straight shot. Okay. And no real articulation on this head, right? Like he can look down, but he's not looking up. And then like, I mean, side to side. So not like super great articulation. But this is where like, I do love like Skate Pro Skate Pro Metalhead. How fun is that? He's just skating. Like there's just something cool about you make a turtle who's a car, right? Blasted. Here's the problem. Getting these things off is a pain. It's a pain in the ass. When you want to switch it, it's so hard because there's nothing to freaking grab, and it's so deep in there. That's a major like kind of oversight. Like I can't, like you're gonna like tear the hell up out of your finger. So be careful there. But, and it's like, look, maybe you put like a wheel hand back on, and so it's like as he needs to crouch, you know, he's like shooting. That's cool. This is the coolest Metalhead ever. I freaking love it. The Donnie is way cool. You're getting a lot of cool effects. The metal bow alone, the wrench, the cool goggles, which fit over the head pretty well. It's a very snug fit. But like, look at those two. So I think this is well worth it. You're going to be delighted. But there's one more feature we need to check out, and that is the glow in the dark. Best Action glow in the dark really functions best with black light. So let's just charge it up. The shell alone. Look how good the shell glows. Can you see that? Like freaking hell. That's so rad. Like the circuitry. Come on. Look at that. That's some good glow, folks. Again, you need the black light. If it's just not glowing in sunlight, that's why. But when you charge up those circuits, look at that. And now we're back. But yeah, that's Metalhead, Donatello. What do you think? I think it's well worth it. Best Action. They did it again. This is one of their best offerings. Even the reused Donatello is super cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's do some more glow. And we'll see you later. Bye.